The Prime Minister has repeatedly promised to get inflation down to around 5.3% by the end of the year. And though that target is still some way off, today Rishi Sunak defended his strategy. Speaking exclusively to ITV News, he admitted higher borrowing might make everyone feel better in the short term, but he said it would lead to long-term pain, as he told our political editor, Robert Peston.
I'm travelling to Leicester with the Prime Minister, and to my surprise, we're not going in one of his trademark helicopters, so staying on the ground. Unlike inflation, which is still too high, though falling. You don't get this welcome when you arrive in a chopper.
Well, you guys do a great job, honestly.
On to one of his regular meetings with a business, this one, the leading tiles retailer.
You're enjoying working here, yeah? Yeah. Okay, you have to say that, Rob.
Where he explains his big priority.
The thing that most people talk to me about wherever I go is the cost of living.
Inflation's down, but that's been driven by falling energy prices and food price inflation that's slowing down. There's nothing that you've done that's contributed to that.
I think government does have a role to play in bringing inflation down, and part of it is being responsible with borrowing. Might make everyone feel better in the short term to borrow lots of money to do lots of things, but ultimately it would just mean that prices stay higher for longer, mortgage rates stay higher for longer. I'm not going to do that.
Now, core inflation is not falling. Services inflation is actually rising. We've had an interest rate rise of more than 4 percentage points. They don't seem to be working, do they?
There's always a lag between an interest rate decision and the impact it has on the economy, and that will take a little bit of time.
Yesterday we saw from the Office for National Statistics record pay rises. Would you like to see employers showing more moderation when it comes to pay rises?
Look, it's not for the government to intervene in the pay decisions between companies and their employees. As a general rule, right, we need pay rises that over time are sustainable, and that means pay rises that are focused on rewarding productivity increases.
There is the triple lock when it comes to the state pension. On the basis of what's happening to wages, pensions could therefore go up by 8%. Are you committed to honouring a rise of that sort?
Of course, the government's committed to its policy on the triple lock, but whilst inflation is higher than we'd like, I also believe it's right to step in and help people with the pressures that it brings.
MPs are split on climate change. There is this suggestion from some of them that you should hold a referendum on the net zero target for 2050. What's your feeling about that?
I'm committed to net zero. I have 2 young daughters. I care about the environment and the climate that I leave them. Part of my job is to leave it in a better state than I found it. But I think the path to net zero has got to be one that we tread carefully.
But why not just put it to the people?
But I think actually there's agreement on it. I think most people are committed to getting to net zero, but getting there in a proportionate and pragmatic way. That seems to me the common sense approach to doing this. I think that has broad support.
One down of his 5 priorities? No, inflation is a long way from halved, but moving in the right direction. Robert Peston, ITV News in Leicester.